Hello, everyone. Welcome back to EPIC43. I'm joined by a different co-host this time. Hello, Claderizer. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
How's it going?
Land's been all right so far.
I did only just see you walk in.
I've had a pleasant amount of beauty sleep. Is all I'll say. So, but I am here now. Yes.
Okay, excellent. Sorry. This mic is wobbling around on me. But it's okay. It's all good. You're here for ZVZ. Sorry.
I am
had
here.
To be done.
Yes, I love it.
Okay. Well then,
I would love it. You just never get to play it anymore.
This is true. This is true. Unless you start smurfing in Diamond again.
Again? I don't smurf.
This one is actually a pretty good. Should be a pretty good match. The players are pretty closely matched. If I just checked their profiles, they're like less than 100 MMR from each other, at like just over 5k MMR, 5.2-ish. So should be actually pretty close. Should be a pretty interesting match.
Hopefully.
And we're set up and ready to hop into the game. So
is the Lorimbo 5.2? I thought it was better than that. Maybe people have been talking him up. Oh, okay.
He's 5.2 on this account. He has a couple others.
Right.
I don't want to
41 games.
There you go. I don't want to leak the others. Yeah.
I see.
But he has, I will say, he's joining us from Italy, so it's really nice to have like a good contingent of foreign players here. It's really cool. He plays like a macro account, and then that account that he only like plays cheese on. So he's one of those players that have like different accounts for all seasons.
Right. The macro and the cheese account. The barcode for the cheese, and the main for the macro.
There you go.
I'm an honourable player, by the way.
Yeah? How many accounts have you got?
No, I'm saying as in, this guy is honourable, you know? He only plays macro on his main, and cheese is on barcodes.
There you go. Cool. We are hopping into Golden Aura, spawning in the top left, playing for Team Air, which is like the Italian team. Is Lorimbo.
And in the bottom right corner, representing Infed Esports?
I have no idea what Infed.
Infed, we used to have someone from the UK play for them. Anyway, it's Xyon. Both extractor tricky. I've seen that this is becoming more common, which is like doing a 15 hatch with an extractor trick, which I've obviously not been playing enough to have mapped out exactly how good or bad this is for your economy, but if everyone's doing it, it's probably better.
It's probably good. I don't know that you can never have like a better. It's like there's always pros and cons, right? Like, so it's different. I don't know that it's like objectively better. It's more macro focused because you delay gas for a long time, and then you're extractor tricking to try and get more drones out faster. So it's like macro focused, but you kind of sacrifice in that you don't have gas, so you don't have super fast ling speed or anything like that. But it's probably
not the most relevant thing though in CVC if you're not playing to be extremely aggressive.
Yeah, and I think it's still pretty good defensively because you get like earlier queens, and normally like if you're getting cheesed, getting like medium ling speed timing doesn't help you much. Do you know what I mean?
No,
like,
not at all.
Like if you're getting mega all in like 13-12 or something, you need fast lings straight away, or
you don't even start speed. Like mining the gas is a mistake in a lot of those situations.
Yeah, exactly.
So you would rather just have queens and lings. So yeah, against cheese, I can see that this build would be really solid.
Yeah, like you either want to match their speed timing, which isn't possible without playing like 13-12 or something, or you just don't get it, like you said.
Like, if you were to get it against a cheese, it's more like I believe I'm winning super hard, and therefore I can get this. But in that situation, the game's won anyway.
Exactly right.
It's whatever.
So unfortunately, because both players are playing the same build, we can't kind of like compare and figure out which build is better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It kind of has been getting pretty popular in all three matchups. I think it's mostly like a CVT thing, but
I was told about this because of it happening in CVT, and essentially people trying to bait me to come back to the game by saying, look, ZVT, you can play gasless again. And I was like, okay, maybe I will. Maybe I'll make a few queens.
So the gas is finally going down. It's double gas for Lorimbo, but it's like 2.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, it's quite fast.
Xyon has been mining only 2 of 3 for the entire game.
Actually, no, it's quite reasonable. I'm still thinking in HOTS time for some reason. God, I'm old.
So
this is not really going to affect it too much unless an Evo goes down pretty soon for Xyon.
Yeah,
like we're banking quite a lot of gas.
Straight into upgrades, like you said. It's like it's super telegraphed roach timing, not nothing else basically that it could be.
with like the Snoop build, for instance, where you would end up with one late gas against double gasless openings, you would have an Evo very fast, like to try and get some kind of timing on your opponent.
So it's actually a fast lair
Got
instead.
a fast lair, but then an Evo coming in later. I'm not a big fan of this order, to be honest.
No?
Since the Evo is so cheap, like if you have the gas to just throw into +1, then I'd just prefer it.
Yeah, so you mean like we're now banking enough gas for +1, so you might as well have got them the other way around. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah, right. Because having roach
speed.
speed is important, obviously, but just due to the timing of upgrades, like
it
takes like twice as long to get
yeah.
+1. So you'd like to have them line up somewhat decently, so you can start +2 with as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But currently, it's going to be double upgrades against. It's going to be double upgrade against single upgrade, and we don't really have a very good timing for taking advantage of the fact that we have a faster +1. Like we have 15 seconds, if that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to make anything happen. No third bases from anyone when we've seen no link speed. I find that a little bit strange. Is it going to be a 2-base roach timing from both players, and they're just going to meet in the middle of the map?
And then who wins, right? Because it's not like anyone has any leverage over anyone else. It's just like you said.
If I saw
move into
this
the middle of the map.
and my overseer goes in and I see the guys making roaches, I'd immediately start my second upgrade. Because it's not enough of an advantage or a timing for either player so that anything can really happen.
This is, right? You see the...
I mean, of course I see it. It's interesting. I don't think Xyon's considered the fact that there is not a third base there. Oh no.
This is Xyon's vision.
So I think the play is as if there's a third base and we're doing some sick timing, but we actually don't have a third base. So we are there very fast. We've arrived at nothing very fast. If you see this and you see like 10 roaches like this, you're just like...
Yeah, you'd have to turn around, right?
It's really awkward because you've made no drones, no third, and...
Oh, okay, I did wonder... He started a Spire and then cancelled it. There you go, in the now.
That is weird.
I did wonder if he would go Spire, because he's 4 gas, and he went really early lair.
That's really weird.
But then he just made it and cancelled it.
Yeah, I would have left it, because you don't have... if you see that, if you're both 2-base making roach, then neither of you really has a timing to kill each other with defender's advantage. So you can really do what you want, but...
Yeah, I mean,
having no tech?
You should be like pretty equal in units all the time, right? So
yeah, cancelled Spire to get Burrow Tunneling Claws.
It's not
interesting choice.
I don't mind it.
Based on the fact that there's no third base, so your opponent is not spread very thin.
Yeah, you can't really like out multitask because there's only a couple places that you can, try and bounce between, basically, which is going to be the natural mineral line and the main mineral line. It's not that hard to defend, whereas like if you can poke here.
Yeah.
And here and here, it gets really irritating to
That's why you don't see it too much early on, because it's not really that Burrow and Tunneling Claws aren't strong. It's that they get stronger the longer the game goes when you have multiple places to defend. And in low unit situations like this, it's also very risky to send lots of roaches for harassment, because you're sending a large percentage of your army.
Yeah.
You don't...
If the other player is like, okay, whatever, I'm done playing around, and they just A-move you, you can still like...
Classic situation. In so many like Tunneling Claws versus like... Roach Hydra or Roach Ravager. I'm saying Roach Hydra in like HOTS.
Yeah.
You'd get so many situations like that, which is like you'd be getting absolutely destroyed by Burrow Tunneling Claws roaches, but they'd be trading out like 5-6 roaches for like 5 or 6 drones.
Yeah.
And back when you would just replace that with roaches and just slowly max out with this unkillable army while he's like sacking roaches to try and kill stuff.
Yeah.
And then
you're trading army for eco, so the person that's losing eco is like, okay, well, I'll just use my now bigger army to win the game.
Yeah, this is back when... obviously, that playstyle got very stunted with Ravagers, because Ravagers basically, if you have an army of Ravagers at the top of a ramp, it like doesn't matter how many more roaches you have, you can just pre-bile it, and it's very hard to get a good engagement at all. Yeah. That's unfortunate. It's still...
So, yeah, Lorimbo's ended up 10 workers ahead, even though Xyon's third was a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Xyon
got his attack contaminated when he's going for a timing. It's it's pretty brutal, actually. He's going to have a later +2 than his opponent. So honestly, Tunneling Claws is the only play we have right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, the upgrade is physically visible.
It's not what you want. You don't want to be taking a fight before your Tunneling Claws.
Nice bios for Xyon, though.
Yeah, it's an okay fight, but what really is important is that these roaches get some damage, and they will.
Oh, I'm an idiot because I made without Game Heart, so we'll have to kind of monitor the damage as it comes.
Yeah, it is good though. There's no overseers prepared, so... Oh, and the split of the army is a bit too aggressive towards the natural, so...
Yeah, Xyon diving across now. I think Lorimbo really needs the reinforcements to try and like, help him out here, basically.
You can't, when you're getting chased off your own creep, you can't run away like that. You're going to get absolutely...
Xyon doing a good job of biling down.
It's a great fight, and honestly, it's just unlucky. Oh, not unlucky, it was having no overseer prepared and having to splitting like half your army to deal with 5 roaches. Yeah, that's a surefire way of getting absolutely crushed.
So that was 22 drones going down in the end. I will turn on Game Heart for the next one, I promise. And that meant that this one, in this game, went Xyon's way. Quick 1-0 to kick things off.
Yeah, it could have went really, really badly, but we'll get
there we go. Okay, Game Heart. I will make it. Oceanborn for game number 2.
God, you're going to have to show me the mini-map for this stuff. There's too many maps nowadays in the pool.
There are 9 in the pool, and then we're about to get new ones, I think, for the next patch. Exciting.
It is exciting, isn't it?
Patch. Yeah, we'll see. You know, which of those, because at the moment it's like they're LC maps, ladder candidates, so they haven't like made it in yet. And I think they were saying like some of the features on the maps have been turned off for the ones that made it onto the PTR.
Some of the features?
Yeah, they're like healing shrines and that sort of thing.
What?
Now. Yeah.
We're turning this into a MOBA, aren't we?
Stormgate, yeah.
Oh, it's Stormgate as well. Yeah, true. God. Ugh. Please no.
So we'll see if those make it onto the ladder, if they're like very much candidates and they never, you know, graduate actually into being on the map pool. I hope they do, because I think I speak for everyone. I say that we're getting pretty bored of these maps as they are at the moment. Did I not make Oceanborn?
Waiting for party. Oh, is it a different one? I'm pretty sure you clicked Oceanborn.
Did I not?
Oh, I guess.
I think I misclicked.
Unlucky.
Okay, let's make sure everyone's playing the right faction.
Mm.
You're in the same colors. Okay, ready? Okay, we're going to hop straight into Oceanborn for game number 2 of this best of 3. And this is really to determine who goes through 3rd and 4th in the groups. Both players, like 3rd and 4th, both go on to the next round, but it affects their seeding into the next kind of stages of the bracket tomorrow. So these ones
whether
do
they're facing first seed or not, which basically means you might be able to not have to play an extra 2 series
through the losers bracket.
Yeah, better chance at least. There's nothing more brutal than going out in the first round down to losers and having to play basically double the series as upper bracket. And even then, the losers, we saw a couple tournaments ago when EBA got knocked into the losers to face Risky in the losers bracket. That's not a good place to be, right? It's no. That's an upper bracket match, and if you have it in the loser bracket, then you're going home, which is not where anyone wants to be. But being upset is not terrible. It's terrible, the seeding. Is it 3-1? Yeah, I was going to say. Jeez, best of 7 for the groups.
Destroying the controls. Spawning in the bottom right to do the casted thing once again. Of Oceanborn, LE, playing in the pink is Lorimbo.
And spawning in the top left as the red Zerg, it is Xyon.
Do we know what
Full
Infed
team
is?
Infed. I swear it's Infed Esports.
But what does Infed mean?
I have no idea.
Is it just Infed?
Infrared. I don't know.
Could easily be. I should have asked. I normally try and ask.
To be honest, there's too many random teams at LAN. Too many troll teams as well.
Yeah, do you remember the Wii team? Were you ever on Team Wii?
Yeah. Oh, no, I wasn't on Team Wii. That was while I was absolutely not playing. But yeah, I do remember Team Wii. Okay, this one is a bit different. Getting an early pull from Lorimbo.
We are getting a fact check.
Infinite Edge Esports.
It's actually not bad. Based in the UK, headquartered in Scotland. There you go.
Huh. Oh, at the time of disbanding. Wait, so they're a disbanded team.
When did they disband?
I mean, it's kind of like TSI, where we all are still in TSI, but we're not playing Clan Wars or anything. But anyway, this is a slightly earlier pull from Lorimbo. It's just a safe opening. No links produced. It was just like an early pull. So still gasless.
I think it's the same like 15-15 opening, but you can like move around when you make the Overlord to be a bit safer, versus like a bit more.
Oh, sorry, I'm reading the colours wrong. Xyon, sorry.
There you go.
Xyon was going for the earlier. So no.
Yeah,
it was Lorimbo
right,
with the early pull.
Yeah,
it was like a 14 pull.
Yeah.
So it's a bit aggressive, but it's not super aggressive. It's still reasonably timed overall.
The idea with this is that you just make these first 8 lings, send them across the map like you know, whatever. Sometimes you can like snipe a queen or something,
Yeah.
and you can kind of scout out and see what your opponent's up to.
Yeah.
But behind it is just like pure macro.
You really don't want to. But then again, though, with a timing like this, there's no way you're not going to get them seen by an Overlord.
Yeah.
Which to me is like, against another late gas build, I just feel like this is putting yourself behind for very little gain.
It's definitely
against
stronger
a build,
against like a standard opener.
Yeah, like a hatch gas ball. I've done this before a lot, and sometimes even when they go for a fast, like you can kind of prevent them from going for a fast third when they go gas into gasless. Wow, this is a decent little trade, to be honest.
Sure.
Yeah, getting a queen is insane. And getting like the Ling trade as well. And getting into the main as well to see the gas timing.
Oh.
Get into the...
Get into the main?
Maybe getting into the main to see the gas timing.
Yeah,
seeing the gas timing and seeing there's no speed on the way is very, very nice for a gasless player.
Yep.
But then we're getting reasonably quick gases as well again. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-base play again from lorimbo.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we see no gas from Xyon and a fast third if we're going to take this like seriously.
Like once you know that you're playing, like last game, like you said, it was like the same build versus the same build. So then if someone's starting to be predictable and playing the same thing over again, you can start to capitalize on that and out-strategize. And like you're saying, if you know that they're going to play 2-base, you can just play like a similar build, like 2-base Roach, but then just make a third hatch and put like 4 workers on it.
Yeah, it's a classic dynamic. Normally, you don't really get 2-base Roach against 2-base Roach very much anymore because it is advantageous in theory to just take a third, get a few workers on it, delay your lair and +1 a bit, just make sure that you have enough Roaches to hold any timings.
Yeah.
But
like
obviously,
we're just relying on the defender's advantage, and then you can get out of it with like a slight economic edge.
Yeah, and you've unfortunately like the lack of scouting for Xyon is really bad. Like this is the first time we've seen any details of the build, and we're seeing the lack of third. So you couldn't really react too easily. Yeah, this is going to be a Ling flood. With like a roach, a light amount of roaches morphing into Ravagers.
I played a build like this a while ago. The idea is that like it looks like 2-base Roach, and then you grab the 2 gases behind it. It's mostly Ravagers. I think he'll switch towards like Ravagers.
Yeah, I'm really confused.
And Ling flood behind it.
Because we've got an Overlord over the third. We see no third. What do we think? Do we think Muters? Is this what we're thinking? Like, we just had a 2-base Roach timing last game. And I'm worried.
Even lining up the Overlords to do the exact same.
Yeah, I'm really confused. I mean, I understand if you're doing an aggressive build that you want to get that timing quicker. Makes sense. Like, but it's if I knew my opponent was the kind of person to do this, I'd be going Muters. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'd be going Muters, 2-base, loads of spines, and I'd get a free 6 Overlords as I go over to his base.
Yeah. So it's basically is a Ling flood where you're like just using the Roaches to punch a hole in the wall.
Do we have no vision at this right now? Does Xyon have no vision of the units coming? Yeah, literally has no idea they're coming across the map because of these beautiful Overlords which are following nothing.
There's a Ling here.
You can anticipate it, I guess, because you got no thing.
This might go well for lorimbo though.
We have
2 really quick queens.
We have like only 6 Roaches in production actually.
Getting the drone pool is really nice.
Losing the Roach Warren is it's a risk, but coming out all this far is not good either. We need to play it very slow. Get as many units as possible.
Aggressive Zerg, you also want to get the upgrade if you can get it, because not sniping the upgrade means that you're behind if this game doesn't end here.
Oh, we're going so far forward.
Looking okay though, as these Lings do start to.
Yeah, the problem is we've lost our production, so Xyon can't make Roaches anymore.
That's true, and if the game can snowball from here, another Ling, another drone pool.
This is brutal. Really good files too.
Yeah, nice kind of surround.
And +1's finished as we lose all our drones. But
and the loss of our
still
Roaches
even.
well.
Honestly, if we had a reserve Roach Warren, it's still like there was potential here, but the Roach Warren is still 20 seconds away from finishing, so we are cooked. We have been cooked here.
I think it's just more Lings are going to keep flooding across the map.
Yeah, it would have been having any vision on the map to see this coming across would have allowed you to cancel your upgrades. Like as soon as you see Roaches and Lings coming across, you know there's basically nothing behind it.
Yeah.
So if you just cancel your upgrades and get as many units as possible, then and also the reserve Roach Warren is very important for situations like that.
Yeah. When yours is at the front, it gets so sniped easily.
Yeah.
So lorimbo going to dive deep now. I think even if he loses these Ravs, which it looks like he probably will. Okay, not even going to lose them.
Nah, it's
over.
Absolutely
Brutal. Decent little build. I think he maybe checked the replay and realized that like the vision on the other half of the map was so weak. So like he knew that if I just path on the right, he's got all of his Overlords lined up on the left.
It's interesting seeing that like develop as you go across the map with your lings, just seeing this sea of overlords positioning in the middle of the map. I don't know. It did seem intentional, and I feel like we should have, because there's very standard positioning of overlords. You know, outside the third to see the third making, and outside the ramp leading to the natural, so that nothing can leave without you seeing it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fundamental of ZVZ. I don't think having creep for 2 seconds on the route is worth not having vision of what's leaving your opponent's base.
Yeah, it's
just
almost
my
worth
take,
like making an extra overlord just to put, like, just to spread out just enough so that you have got vision covering that other part leaving your opponent's base.
Yeah, I mean it's a neat trick is what I'll say. But it seems a little bit unsolid to have all of your overlords there rather than just have 2 covering major paths.
So we're hopping into game number 3 on Crimson Court. This is another one of these maps that only has like 2 main parts. I'll show. I can see you looking at the little map.
Yes, I was just reminding myself what the gold positions are. There's so many maps with mineral things now that I'm just like.
Yeah, it has seemed to have become really popular lately.
Looks a lot like Heavy Rain, which is what confuses me. It's got the same tile set as Heavy Rain, which is a very old map, but it was one when I was playing a lot, so it is a tiny bit confusing.
I was busy messing around with the scoreboard. Spawning in the bottom left, playing in the pink, evening up the game just for this one. Taking it to 1-1 in this best of 3 is lorimbo for Team Air.
And representing Team Infinite Edge Esports.
There we go. We got it.
Yep. It is the Red Zerg, Xyon.
So
and now we're getting normal builds again. Or I should say mirrored builds again.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. I really like that build out of lorimbo to kind of like pick up on his opponent being a little bit too predictable. You know, playing the same build twice, and it's like, okay, there's an opening here, there's an edge here.
There's definitely a vision edge. Yeah. If my opponent is going to put all his overlords in a line, then I do have the ability to do some cheesy stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because like cheese is inherently gambly, but there are little things you can pick up on that like make the gamble more certain. And like you said, abusing the lack of vision is really helpful towards that. Yeah,
that is strange. But then equally, it was a huge risk because at the end of the day, it was a 2-base roach timing.
Yeah.
And those builds, especially from a gasless opening, are absurdly safe against mid-game all-ins. If you take the right precautions, like you cancel upgrades, you make sure you don't over-drone. Because it was a 30 worker all-in, and you saw, like, even with the upgrades left and us not seeing it until it got there, if the roach one was started in the main straight away,
it might still have been
it still might have been a hold, even with 15 extra drones, a lair, 2 upgrades working in the background. So
they've actually switched builds, I think. This is Xyon was doing the 2 workers in gas in the main thing.
Yeah, and now we're getting 1 gas, but it's super late. It's so late compared to like a normal 1 gas opening.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I don't know what we're cooking.
It's going to be an advantage for Xyon because it's unlikely that there's going to be any Ling shenanigans. So speed timings won't be too important. It's just more, okay, never mind, there might be some Ling shenanigans here with +1 melee. You don't normally get the Evo in the main.
Yeah, you might as well just get it at the front if it's ranged.
Yeah, it's especially if you got no info on the enemy's build. But currently,
let's see how this one develops.
Yeah, especially getting it this early. It's quite a mineral sink. Like, getting an upgrade this early, it's fine with the gas, because you've got the gas anyway, but you're losing 100 minerals and the drone and the Evo, so it's quite a commitment.
Very
cute.
It
will be +1
melee. Did you see? So cute. Anyway, like you said, +1 coming out in the main for lorimbo.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this is going to be Ling speed after, and then pretty much a full wall at the front. Yeah, Queen's going to be blocking. It's going to be hard to fake it because you're going to have to start another upgrade. Like, if you don't start any upgrades, well, you could misread this and think it's Muta, but...
That's true too. Do you think if you build a Bane Nest here, it like telegraphs mutas that a little bit more?
If you build a Bane Nest...
So I feel like no one goes roach or mutas.
Well, this used to be reasonably popular to full wall back when it was gasless meta, because you couldn't really know... There were other builds like Niduses and things which were kind of dangerous if you went for like a free-base greedy build against someone who you thought was going Muta, and you get Roach Nidus, it was like game.
Yeah.
But now, if I saw this, I would think standard until I've seen for like a minute that there's nothing researching
Yeah.
the Evos,
So
and the Roach Warren's not researching.
you need to kind of poke the front with the Ling and say like, okay, what are you actually doing here?
Yeah.
Xyon has no vision here, so that's not so
Yes,
much
we're
concern.
seeing another lineup of Overlords, and I'm starting to really not like this. Just from
But
if
is he
these,
actually going for this like creep drop thing, or
it
is
seems
this
to
just
just
how he positions?
it seems
his
to just be
overlords?
the build of choice. It seems we've got someone who just likes to build roaches, and I'm all for that. I love that. Like that was, yeah, no, that's great. This is nice getting a free Overlord. You don't expect the creep to be
Yeah, to be
this
this
far
far out
forward.
this early. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you think this build, these two builds match up into each other? We've got quick Lings with +1 for
yeah.
the Pink Zerg versus this like earlier Roach +1.
Theoretically, I think Xyon's
Ren.
got it, but it's on a purely theory basis, and we're going to get the same situation where we have no scouting information at the front, and like a 30 worker all in. We're seeing it now.
Yeah,
I think
if
that
Lorimbo would run the other way, it might
run the
dodge
queens
vision a little
away,
bit.
full wall, and have roaches behind it, and I think we're good.
This map is a tricky one to do this on as well. Because
Oh no, we're trying to wall. Oh, we can't.
That's bad.
And we've got no upgrades. We need to pull the drones and be kiting.
It takes a long time to realize actually in these spots that the opponent has +1 Lings. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's like deceptive how quickly your roaches are dying, and then you're like,
Yes.
oh, those are dying fast. Oh, that's
Okay,
+1.
we do get that. We need to pull drones. Like we need to improve our trades slightly and trade some
I
drones off.
think
But
Lorimbo's done it.
Yeah,
the wall is back open again. Drones are getting pulled away, but it's too little, too late.
we need hold position on ramp behind some roaches, or
Yeah, I think that would
some
have been a way
more
to hold
like
it.
we need some more like flashy plays at this point because we're so okay.
Could still be rough diving into the mineral line. Good drone drill to start things
Yeah,
off.
but +1 melee lanes just do not care about your drones.
And I turned
They are going to
Game
melt.
Heart on so we can actually see how many drones are going down.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
This looks like it's going to be it for game number 3. A quick little ZVZ to kind of start to round out the day. I think we've got another series or 2 after this. I might be wrong. Production's going to tell me. If
I've
there's
never seen such a. It's build matchups which should be favourable to Xyon. Like they should be favourable, but having just unfortunately like not good enough vision on the map. If we saw the Lings as they left the base, then we get the wall down no problem. But
Yeah.
because we're only seeing them halfway down the map,
Yeah.
it is just not.
And it's also like we're kind of saying, if you start with a Ling speed opener, you can keep them alive and mill around outside the base, and then see like, oh, that Evo's not doing anything. Why have you got 2 Evos that aren't doing anything if you're playing roaches? Oh, this doesn't make any sense. Oh, I know what's happening. I'm getting
Even without speed, like if your
Yeah.
opponent's not opening speed,
Yeah, you
there's
don't
no
need to
reason
do
not
that.
to make just 2 Lings, to just walk across the map and suss out what's going on, and you see a wall, and yeah, you get those same warning signs.
Yeah.
But
There we go. 2-1 for Lorimbo. We've got one more series after this. Mix versus Patty Mac.
yes,
As friend of Mix yourself, who do you think's going to win that one?
I'm biased. I think I don't know how many lands Pimax played, but 6k NA I'm pretty sure it's like 4.4 EU.
Yeah,
so
I'm pretty sure that's
I'm
right.
pretty sure we've got it in the bag for
Yeah.
the UK.
We'll see. Everyone already knows EU is obviously greater than NA, but is
Yes,
UK greater than NA? That's the question.
very much so.
We'll see if we
Very
can
much
answer it.
I'm biased.
Yeah, we'll be back in about 15 minutes, about 6 p.m. Hopefully with Patty Mac versus Mix. It should be a banger. I'm
It
looking
will be a
forward to
banger, yeah, definitely, with Mix playing random. It's going to be great.
Thanks for joining me, Dave, and thanks for watching,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thanks for watching.